want to introduce you to our 6000 series CNC plasma. This is one of the largest machines that we build. Of course, we build 1000 series and 3000. As you can see, the 6000, this is a 10-foot gantry. Allows for you a 10-foot wide process area. And basically, the length of your process area can be up to 80 to 100 feet, depending on what your desires are. We start out here with our large tube rails. These particular rails are 8 inches by 12 inches, half-inch thick. Very, very heavy rails. As you can see, we use a 35 millimeter rail and rack to drive the machine. These particular rails are machined on our CNC mills in the factory. This is a 1.5 by 1 inch piece of steel plate. This is precision machined, and then this is mounted to the rail. Of course, you have 2 on each side. All of our machines are driven on both sides, and of course, being large gantries, we use Technics drives. We use servo motors coupled to a Goodall 24:1 ratio gearbox. So you have very, very smooth acceleration and very, very powerful. You have a very, very powerful machine that will respond to the cutting needs of the operator. Our gantry, which is very, very well supported, is 1.5 inch plate, welded plate. We use a 12 inch by 1/4 inch tube, reinforced with a 1/4 inch skin on the outside for support of the gantry. Very heavy machine that will last a long time. On top of our gantry, of course, we have 25 millimeter rails with stainless steel covers. Of course, they're mounted on top. This is a good feature because it keeps you from getting any splatter when you're using oxy fuel. This does not matter too much with high definition, but it does come into play with oxy fuel. So you have less chance of hitting these rails as you're cutting heavier, say 6 to 7 inch material. We have a rack in a pinion, as we would on our x-axis. We use a gearbox internally. You can't see that in there, but we have a gearbox and a servo motor inside. Cutting speeds on this machine are 800 inches a minute. Rapid speeds are 1,000. Very, very fast response. These machines can be mounted with, and like I said before, the rails our gantries can go from accepting an 8-foot wide table all the way up to accepting a 20-foot wide table. And like I said, the lengths can be whatever. Go up to 2 HPR type torches and up to about 4 or 5 oxy torches. On up to about our 15-foot machines. Of course, we can house more than that on our 20-footers. There again, depending on how much coverage you want on all of your torches. Our tables, and I'm going to go into this here, our tables are modular tables. We make our tables in basically, say this would be a 10 by 41 inch table. We sell those as modules. So as you get a table that's maybe 20 foot long, or a machine that's 20 foot long, or in your case, a 40 foot long machine, and say in a couple of years you want to get another 10 feet down there, maybe make it a 50 foot machine. Well, the nice thing about our tables is that you can buy the other modules. You don't have to get another new 50 foot table and replace it with a 40. It simply attaches on to the back of this table. You would remove, of course, the inlet here, both the other table back up, and now you've got, so you're not losing, you're not losing the table you have, and you can add on to the machine. That is the reason for the modular table. The machine comes with setup points, which are basically angles that allow you to precision set the rails prior to locking them down into the ground. The electrical panel, of course, rides with the machine, eliminating a lot of extra cabling and overhead cabling, because this is all housed right onto the gantry. The only additional cabling you have would be from our HPR unit or the HD2000, depending on what unit you're getting. And your cabling that goes to your torch and to your mixing console, which is up on the gantry. So you don't have a lot of extra cabling. Of course, this one has an oxy fuel. You would have a little bit more there because you've got like 3 or 4 different hoses coming into there. But it's a very compact unit, but yet a very sturdy and strong unit. I think the benefit of the multicam machine is in its structure, and the reason our structure is the way it is we have been used to building routers. We've built routers for many years. We're used to building heavy routers. We're used to building routers that you have a tool that's going into a material, so you have to be very rigid. Well, we've carried that over with our plasmas, and I think without a doubt